guys. How are y'all today? I hope everybody's doing well. Give me a thumbs up or let me know that you can hear me, and we shall get started. So, thanks, Sharon. It is what it is. I mean, I've hit that stage of life that we have deaths in the family, and unfortunately, it's been three. I've had one for the last 3 years. The last two just happened to come very close together. So it's been a rough few weeks. So, but anyhow, that the services are this weekend. So once that's over, we'll start moving forward again. But everybody can hear me today, correct? And so my hairdresser cut my hair today, and she did it. It's like, okay, this doesn't look right. It's messing with me. It's not the normal way I do it, but it's not bad. Okay, so if you didn't notice when you open your Artspira app, there is some new stuff out there to play with, especially if you have a printer. Super fun, super fun. And I'm going to share with you what they've done so that you can kind of get an idea. I think next Tuesday when I'm on with Brother, I will be using this feature and doing a sublimation project with it. I think you will enjoy it, but I do want to give you kind of a sneak preview as what you've got so you can start playing. So let me connect my iPad here real quick, and we will go from there. Well, let's see here. Why is it not letting me? Where is that? Oh, come on. Well, fiddle-dee-dee, where is the screen sharing? There we go. Like, wait a minute, they've added stuff here. Okay, got a new iPad. I dropped mine in Bartlett and killed it. So I have a new one now. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen. Let's pick this. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get back to Artspira. Let me do Touch ID. There we go. Okay, I'll make this a little bit more simple so you all don't see all of my programs in behind it, so that you just see a little screen share there. When you open the program now, oh, let's do one last thing. Let's take off the frame. Oh, where is that frame? No frame. There we go. When you open the program now, you will see there is a new function added down here, okay? So that is a cool little function, and that's what we're going to explore today. I'm going to tap New down at the bottom, and we're going to choose Printing, and then we're going to choose the Font Decorator. This is a new feature in Printing, and it's pretty slick. So we're going to tap that, and you tell it you want to create. So you're going to select a letter, and then you're going to select a decoration, basically. So you have to agree to the terms of service. I'm not sure why that keeps popping up because I've already agreed to it, but may have to do that every time. I'm going to touch character first, and then you can pick your font. So let's see here. Let's say I want Cairo, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to choose the letter H. Okay. Now, if you want to try something else, you can try a different one. You can pick which of the ones that you want to do, but I think I'm going to go with Cairo. And we'll say done. Okay. And now you say motif, and this is where you select which one of these motifs you want it to create with. I did tulips the other day. That was pretty cool. Let's try something different today. Actually, let's do tulips first, and then we'll try something different. And we'll say done. Now, when you tell it to generate, it's going to basically integrate those tulips into the letter. So let's see what happens. It's generating it right now. This is super cool. I was rather impressed. And it's easy to do. That is also very impressive. So we're going to sit here and give it just a second. This is one of the more exciting things that they brought out for us for printing, I think. Now, give it a second. It's still generating down there at the bottom. It's telling you it's working. And you get some really neat stuff out of this. And we can take it one more step. So this is what it turned my H into with that first style. So I can now say customize. The default size is NV water. I mean, the default style is NV water. Let's say we want to try realistic. Then we can say generate again, and it will generate it again and put those tulips into the letter H to configure the letter H. I'll give it another second. But isn't it awesome, Caroline? I thought it's pretty slick. So that's what it does with the realistic, which is, that one's okay. I like the first one better. Let's see what it does with abstract pop. But I kind of like that one. And let's give it a sec. It's doing its thing. All right, I feel like we're do. Okay, so there's abstract pop. Not my favorite. Let's see what Mandela does. Although that one would have been kind of cool, but let's see what else we can get out of it. And then we'll pick our favorite. I will say Pixel's not my favorite one. If I wanted to turn it into kind of a cross stitch thing, the pixelated one would be something that would be good for that. But, well, that one's neat. Let's see here. Let's do one more. What for just the heck of it. The letter covers up the style name. Well, that's a bummer. I'm kind of surprised at that. Of course, I didn't have a problem with my phone. That's what I was playing with it yesterday. Well, let me look at my phone here and see. Let me go new again, font designer, create, because that's where I was playing with it yesterday. That's one of the fun things, is that you can do it while you're playing it. So I'll pick my character, motif, generate. Okay, so there's childish. Ooh, I actually do kind of like that one. We're going to go with that one for now. Or actually, that one's sketch. We'll go with that one, and we'll just say generate, and it's going to go ahead and do its thing. Isn't it, Sharon? I thought this was a pretty slick little feature. And I'm going to take it a step further for you here in just a second. Yeah, so when I say customize, now I'm seeing my styles as well, Caroline. Maybe you've got your I'll share my phone here in a minute. Maybe you have your settings to where large text or something, and maybe covering it up. But mine's popping out great. Okay, so it's generated it. Now, if you want to do one last thing, you can say color, and you can pick a different color and have it generate, but I'm going to leave it at what it was. We're just going to say done and go ahead and say create. Okay, at the top you say create, and we'll say done again. And so there is my letter. Okay, you can make it, once you get it on the page, you can make it as big as you can make it to fit on the sublimation page if you want to. I think this would make a really cool garden flag. I'm going to go layout, and we will go reset to center, and we will go reset to 0. There we go. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can always tap off, and you can come in and add, and you can add your name across the bottom of it. So if you wanted Hogan down at the bottom, or let's make it all caps. I think that would be kind of cool. And then you can pick your font style that you want. I think I did, what did I do? Cairo. So if you want a matching font, you can put that down across the bottom of it. And then you could come in and you could say color, and you could pick a different color to put in there. Let's see what kind of green we can get that kind of matches that. I like the dark green. There we go. And then you can place it wherever you want it to go. And that's your print file. You're ready to go forth and rock on. Or you could take this and put it down below. Whatever floats your boat. Okay. Now I'm going to take it one more step. I'm going to grab the H, not the Hogan, but just the H. And you'll notice it grabs the whole area. It looks like it's got my Hogan, but it doesn't. And down here at the bottom where it says conversion, I'm going to touch that. And we're going to tap Artspira AI and turn it on. And then you can go through here and you can choose a different style. So we can change it to crayon or to watercolor and see what it does from there. So once you've got it generated, you're not locked into what it did. You can actually pick something else and it will do another little snippet with you. You could also change to effect, and I'll show you that in just a second. But this is one of the cooler things they brought to us, I have to say. So once you do effect, though, you have to understand that it reset it back down to the default size. Not effect, but conversion. It puts it back down to the original size. You just resize it again. I actually like that one even better. You could do watercolor if you want. You can also choose effect, so you can come in and change it to a different color scheme here. But I liked the original. And then you could say you're done. Tap off, say done. I'm not going to save that. I could if I wanted to, but then you select your printer. Oh, I crashed and burned. Bummer. And I didn't save it. I had not connected a printer. Let's go ahead and connect a creative printer and see if it likes me. There we go. Now we should be able to do it. We'll do this real quick again. So I'm going to do new, font decorator, create, agree, character, Cairo, done. Oh, I need to pick my letter. That one confuses me there. On the left side, you pick your letter. On the right side, you pick the font. And since we were going to do something different, let's go ahead and do the Gerber daisies and see what that does this time while we're at it. This time, maybe I'll make it work. I won't crash and burn. There we go. Ooh, that one's cool. Looky there. I'm going to go ahead and say create on that one. I like that. We'll say done. Now I'm going to do my conversion again, put the Artspira AI on, and let's do crayon again. And it's doing its thing. Now, if I wanted to print it out on fabric, I could do that as well. Instead, so if I decided I wanted to do fabric, I could go that route. We're going to say done and look and see what we've got. That's what we've got. That's kind of cool. I like the Gerber daisies, but I may have liked the original version of them better. Let's undo that and see if we like the original version better. Let's undo back to the. Yeah, on that one, I like the original version. I think that's very pretty. And then when you're done, I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, we'll say done. I'll save it this time. And we'll say H, and we'll save it. That way, if I crash and burn for some reason, now my printer is connected. I can just say print settings. It automatically mirrors it. And then I would hit print. I'm not going to print that because let's go ahead and add my name to the bottom of that. Like we had before. Let's go. And it was Cairo. Bring it down and make it bigger. And we will lay out, reset to center, and let's just move it down. Yeah. As long as I don't rotate it, I'm okay. Now, we'll go ahead and change the color. And I'm going to go with that color. Or nope, that one. That one right there. I like that. And then I'll tap off and say done. Now, I want you to see how it flips it automatically. I'll go ahead and save it again. I'm just going to save right over the top of the original one. Now, there you go. You can see that it has mirrored it automatically since I'm on sublimation. Now, Caroline, I'm going to take my iPad off and I'll put my, let's see, maybe. Come on, swing down here. I'm going to take that off and I'll put on my iPhone. And let's see here, mirror. There we go. All right, let's see here. Where's my thing? And we'll move this over here. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this and we'll swipe up. So you can see, I can see my styles down at the bottom. So I'm not sure if you've changed your display settings somehow or not, but that one is with the hydrangeas. And if I change my color to something else and say generate, that's something I didn't do on the other one. So it's got to be a display setting on yours unless you're using an Android, and then I can't simulate it. I don't have an Android. I'd have to install it on my husband's phone. Oh, that one's different. I like the blue better though, but let's see what light blue does. Ooh, that one's pretty. Let's go ahead and generate that. Or we'll say done, and we'll say create. And I'll say done again. Now, this is what it looks like, guys. Isn't that pretty? You know, see what watercolor does for it if we do conversion AI. Let's see what watercolor does. It's going to make it, it's going to shrink it again, but we can always make that bigger. So I just thought this one was cool and you guys would want to know about it, because I don't think if I had opened it up and it hadn't been, my attention hadn't been drawn to it, that I would have known what exactly I had. So let's see here. We're going to say done, and let's look and see what we've got. Ooh, yeah, that one's pretty. That one's super pretty. I can see printing that and putting it on. That'd be a beautiful garden flag. It'd be a pretty pillow. There's all kinds of things you could do with that. And if we wanted to, that'd be a fun thing to learn how to thread paint with your free motion quilting, because you have a lot of stuff there that you could work with. I think that would be fun. Lots of fun. So that is what's new in your Artspira app. It's like I said, it's easy, it's fun, and you can just sit there and play to your heart's content. It is a premium feature, so it is it's part of the subscription. So just know that it's there, and if you want to play with it, it's really one of those that got me excited. So good to see you, Annette. Glad you could join us today. Easy for me to say, not so much. All right. So questions for you guys. Any questions on that? Is there any questions that you have on Artspira that you wanted to do? One thing we don't talk about enough is that there are tutorials in here. Now, there's not a tutorial on this because this is brand spanking new. We haven't gotten there. We're doing we're doing things as they come out. But if you go to up here at the top where it says there's a little play button, I know I've told you here before, but I want you to really realize that there are tutorials in here. So for printing, there's printing basics, how to getting to know your machine. There are embroidery basics. There are how-tos in the embroidery basics. So if you go into how-tos, there are different things on how to do different items. Just depends on what you're planning on doing. There's tips and tricks. There's how to hoop challenging items. You have cutting basics. So if you go through, you'll notice the different things that we've got under cutting basics. I just want you guys to realize that, and Artspira basics, these are the different functions that are in there. Now, they may change slightly as we go along because it seems like every time I turn around, they're moving something. But your basics are there. It'll take you through what you've got for cutting, what you've got for sublimation, what you've got for the gallery. So all of that is a fun thing. Okay. And then you've got your sublimation basics. And we walk you through, you know, what kind of supplies you need, setting up your machine, loading your paper. So if there's a question that you have, I mean, you'll find it in here. There was one that showed up the other day that is an Artspira question. It's how to import, and it's probably under Artspira basics, how to import an embroidery file. So if we go in here, I know it's in here because I remember doing it. So it's not under basics. It's probably how-tos. Well, where did we hide that one? Artspira basics. Customizing templates, design, editor, drawing. Let's see here. I know it's in here. Here, import embroidery files right there. It's under the Artspira basics. So just know that those are there for you so that you can use them. And lots of times when you're, instead of just going to a group and ask the questions, it's probably right here on your phone. They're YouTube videos. They're embedded in the program itself. And I think you'll find that most of your questions about Artspira get answered there. And a lot of your questions about general embroidery will be answered there. I'm going to stop mirroring and we'll go here. All right. So which program which BES do you have? We have multiples. We have BES Blue, we have BES Silver, and we have BES 4. BES 4 is discontinued, so it is no longer being sold. The Silver is taking its place. It has a few more features than BES 4, but its biggest difference is the BES 4 was wireless to the wireless to the SD card, not an internal card. And the BES Silver is not wireless, okay? And BES 4, you had to add power packs. The BES Silver, those power packs are built into it, so you don't have to add those at this time. So it's kind of one step above it. It's got a couple of new little features, but if I know specifically what you're looking for, I answer questions. So, Annette, I don't generally give a lesson here. I answer your questions on what you're trying to do that day. I mean, if there's something that you're stumped on and you don't understand how to get it going, I can certainly steer you in the right direction here. But as far as me taking the program and and day one, we're going to say we're going to do this, this, and this. There are so many programs, and brother, I would never get through them all. So that's the way we have worked. I mean, when I originally started, I used to give a lesson on every program, basically. And that got to be a little bit much to try to generate every week with a travel schedule once we started traveling again. So it's evolved into this, and this seems to work for people. So guys, I'm opening it up to you for your questions at this point. If you don't have any, I'll show you what I've been playing with. Just don't judge my clothing today. We're lucky I'm live. Oh, so how many of y'all have print Moda? Okay, so I took a picture and I split it, and then I've made it so I could make it bigger, so I'm not limited to my what am I trying to say, 8.69 by whatever. You know, you can go long, you can go long, but the width was always a challenge. So I figured out a way to make it work. And I'm super excited. I'll be sharing that with you as we go along. You do have to have a secondary program right now to do that. It would be basically any artwork program, probably besides Paint, that allows you to split a design, basically crop a design. So, I mean, you could do it in Paint. It's just not going to be quite as easy. You just kind of crop it in, and I can, if y'all are interested in that, I can show you what I did. That particular image is from Creative Fabrica. So if I go into Paint Shop Pro, this is probably the easiest one to do it in. I downloaded that one from Creative Fabrica. If you need an affiliate link for that, let me see if I can share that with you. Where is, and I'm sure that they always have a sale going on, guys. So here's my Creative Fabrica link, and I can copy that probably. I'll hide it for just a second and I'll copy it. And then I'll pop it back up here. So there we go. I'll try to take you to it, but let's see here if I can share. So that is my affiliate link. Let me go over here to screen share, and it is a fun print. I was super excited. I found it. I'm going to turn off that banner so y'all can see my screen. We're not going to worry about doing that. We're going to file open. We're going to go to edit. And I'm going to open up that image file. And it'll be different depending on which one you do. So this is the one I did. And it's Comical Couples is the thing on Creative Fabrica. And so what I did was I decided where I was going to split it. Basically, I split it right down the middle. So if you go into your cropping tool, and I may have done this in a different program, but that's okay. Let's make sure we're all the way zoomed out. Yes, we are. And we take it to the middle of the doggy. Okay, so that's my half one, right? And so I'm just going to go ahead and crop. And then I saved that half. We'll save that as 1-1. All right. I've already got them on my device, and now I'm going to undo that. We'll go back to where we have this, and then we'll take this over, go to the other half. Oh, I may not have split it exactly in half. I did not. So we're going to move this a little bit further over this way. I think that's where I did it, right in the center of the dog's nose. And we'll double click there. And then you do a file save as one more time and save it as side 2, basically. Oops. Now, I'm going to bring up my Artspira app again. Let's see here. Minimize. Let's bring up Artspira. Oh, this is silly. Here we go. Let's get it popped up again. And don't tap. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Tap the wrong thing. Okay, allow. Why is it not showing? Reflector. There we go. Okay. Now let's cancel this and let me cancel that. Let's just get out of it all. And we will do new and printing and then choose design editor this time. We are going to go to custom size fabric roll and you choose how big you want it to be. I'll go with 20. I'm going to go with about 24 inches. All right. So then at the bottom, we touch add and we choose camera roll. I'm going to allow full access here. Now let's see here if did I save it on my device? Of course not. I didn't save it on this one. So let's change to the iPhone. Maybe I think it's on the iPhone. Where did I save it to? I swear I thought it was on this device. Let me look. Recents. Not in there. Well, that's weird. Because I know I added it. Aha. I did it on my phone. So that's easy enough to fix. Let's share my desktop. We'll stop this share. We'll do my phone instead. Come on. Play nice with others. Well, that's just weird. It went on me. There we go. All right, now let's try it again. I'm sorry, guys. I thought this would be super simple. There we go. Now. All right. Oh, I hit stop mirroring. Come on. Hit the wrong button. I always love it when I do that. Let me change that setting and we'll take the iPhone frame off. There we go. Okay. So I know that the picture is here. I see it. So we'll come in here to Artspira. Okay. Then I went into new and I went printing, design editor, and I said custom size. We'll go back to 22 inches and create. Now I went to add camera roll and we'll go all photos. And there is half. Where's the other half of that? Here's the first half. Don't ask me why it sorted it differently. And then I'm going to make it as big as I can up here. And we will go layout, reset to center, and we'll make it 22 inches. Done. Done. Okay. So then you're ready to print that on your printer. It looks like it's a little bit outside the frame, so I may go back in and do layout again and change it down to 21.5. Or I could make my print area larger, but that keeps it within the red boundaries. And then you print that half. Now, notice that it's not all the way up to the edge, so you do have to trim up to your 1/4 of an inch. You tap off, say done, and don't save, and then you print that to your creative printer, which would be that one. Okay. Now I'm going to cancel that, cancel again, and we'll discard. And we'll go back into design editor one more time, custom size, 22 inches, and create. And then you bring in the second half, camera roll, all photos. And here's my second half. And I'll take him and we'll go ahead and go into layout and we will change that to 22.5, 21.5. Say done. Oh, wait a minute. Must have done something wrong there. Oh, I did width. It meant to be height 20.5. Done. There we go. That's better. Now it's the right size. And you're ready to print that one as well. So that's how I did mine, which is kind of just letting you know that's how you can do things that are bigger. I could kind of eyeball it in the software if I just in the Artspira app if I shifted from one side to the other, but it was much more precise for me to crop it in another program to where I knew I was cropping it in the right space, and then just import that JPEG into my device. I tend to email it to myself and then bring it in through email. That's the way I operate. That however works for you, go forth and multiply. All right, Linda, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Stop this and get out of that. And I'm done. I'm done with Artspira, I guess, unless y'all have more questions. All right, you've got a flower. You've got one design, half over another design. You're trying to delete the overlap stitches. You were not successful. Well, my first question is the design one of the built-in designs, or is it something that you brought in yourself? So you have BES silver. I can tell you if it's not something that's built into the software, I know what you've done wrong. If it's something that's built in, I can kind of help you that way as well. But let's say I go in, let's first of all do something that's not built into the software. So let me go and, which I am in silver. I'm going to go into my browser window here. And let's see what I have. Commercial embroidery designs. There we go. Something you brought. Okay, so I'm going to go into Amazing Designs, my Amazing Designs folder here, and see what we've got. Okay, so what you need to do when you bring one in is you want to choose Convert to Outline if you're trying to remove overlaps. So I'm going to grab this and I'll grab this and we'll say Merge. So it's going to put both of those designs on my page. And let's say I want this on top of the shell. Okay. I need to change the order of sewing first of all. So we'll take that and move it to the end. So now it's on top. But if I want to remove the overlap stitches, now this is when you just select it all, right mouse click. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't. It's not liking me. So I guess we have to ungroup. Let's ungroup and see if that will help us. Remove overlap stitches. And you choose how much of an overlap you want it to keep. You usually want it to keep a little bit, so go ahead and do 0.5. Not everything works equally. Just keep that in mind, because you're altering the way the design was created. If it's a lot of running stitches, it will not take the running stitches out. It will take the thick stitches out. Let's see if we can do this without crashing and burning. We're just going to let it do its process, let it think about it. While she's thinking about it, while the software's thinking about it, y'all can, sure, Fran, you can create anything you want in your P-Design 11 software. You just have to have a shape. So I can kind of walk you through that. It's just a 3-step process. It's like an applique, except for you leave an opening to turn. So I'll give it a second here. Is it done? Nope, it's still spinning. All right, while that's spinning and doing its thing, I'll answer Fran's question. So I can't run P Design 10 on my computer. I can run 11 on this computer. Don't ask me why, but the basics are going to be the same. So let's say we wanted to do a rabbit stuffed head here, okay? All right. It's not convert to stitches, it's convert to outline. Just keep that's the key, convert to outline. So what you would do is you would change this to a running stitch and turn off your fill stitch, okay? And then you would copy it and you would paste it. So the first one's your placement stitch to put your fabric down, and we're going to change that second color to something else. Doesn't matter what color, just something to tell the machine to stop, okay? That's gonna tack the two together. This actually could be a 2-step process very easily. So I'm just gonna leave it at 2 steps. But the second one, when it's sewing them together, you want to leave an opening. So you decide where you want your opening to be. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to put a point there, and I'm going to put a point over here, and I'm going to right mouse click and say split at point, and then right mouse click over here. Actually, let's make that here. Right mouse click here and split at that point. And then you have a little extra line right here. Take that extra line and delete it, and there is your little stuffy. Okay. That's the easiest way I can tell you. Now, if you wanted to do eyeballs and things like that, you would throw those in before you sewed the 2 parts together. So you would come into your shapes, and let's say we wanted to give him a couple of eyeballs. I'm holding my control key down to duplicate, and if I hold the control and shift key down, it'll do it in the same line. It doesn't take, they don't get misaligned. So I'm going to change, oops. I'm going to change the fill to black. All right. And then let's say we want a nose. What have we got in here for a nose that we can adapt? How about this one? We'll make us a little squatty nose. And then you can make your whiskers with your little curved line drawing tool and just kind of bing, bing, double click. Oh, so evidently I crashed and burned my BES silver. I didn't divvy it up enough. So I needed to do a little bit more work there. And I'm just doing curves and double clicking at the end. And you can make your little mouth a little circle, or you can just leave it like it is. Then you take this and drag it up. Okay. Now I would change my entry and exit points. I'll have to sit here and tell you that I would change my entry and exit points so that my line, so that I don't have so many jump stitches. By clicking on it, you can just change it, and it doesn't. You won't have as many jump stitches. There you go. And that takes care of that. So my program crashed and burned, but the concept is there. Let's see. Maybe, Linda, I can make it work a little bit better. Let's try it a different way. BES silver. Because sometimes we ask it to remove overlaps of too complex of items. So I may have had too much information there, but I can show you a little trick. So let's go back into the browser window and let's see if we can try this again. This time we're going to I'm going to go back into the amazing designs, and we're going to choose AD Life. Okay. So this time I'm going to bring them in separately. This one I'm going to convert to outlines. So I'll merge that one. And then I'll come back into the same place. And go back into the same file folder. And this time I'm not going to convert that one to outlines, because what I was getting, I opened it. Darn. We'll go ahead and copy that. That's okay. And we will paste it over here. Now, what I can do is, knowing what I now know, I can come in here and I can go into my tools and I can say ghost mode. Where is it? I can view. We're going to go into our preferences window and I'm going to go to environment and we're going to choose ghost mode, and I'm going to take the intensity up a little bit. And then I'm going to hide this. So we're going to hide these pieces. Maybe. Eyeball, turn off. Why is my eyeball not turning off? There we go. No. Why are you being such an ornery little turkey? Well, my program's not playing nice with others today. All right, so it's not letting me hide it. We'll just work with it. We'll lock it in place. We will just lock it in place. My lock's not working either. Why is that being so ornery? I may have a bug or two to report here, because that should do that. All right, we're just going to go ahead and add a design, and we will come in and add, I think if we go to emojis, we can just get something with just a few little items on it. So let me see how about this one? And then I'll just delete the brown. Okay. So now, and I will delete the outline because I don't need the outline. What I need is this little shape right here. And now that I've got it, I can come in and go to my tools tab and choose edit shape. And then I can manipulate that to where it fits this area. And then we'll right mouse click, and you'll notice it is now taking that shape on. I need to go ahead and take some out here because we've got more space there. And that's fine. Okay. So now I can select the pink and I can select the yellow, and I can right mouse click and I can say remove overlap stitches, and we will leave that as it is. And let's see if it works. I may have, Vicky, but we'll see what happens. I didn't think of that, but we'll see what happens. If I crash and burn, we'll know that we should have. If I crash and burn, we'll know I should have ungrouped it. But who knows? We'll see. Any other questions? So Sharon, no, I do not have the latest upgrade yet. And honestly, I would not have had time to install it if I did, but I don't. I'll get it the same day you do. The 27th is when it's coming out. 27th, 28th is my anticipation. They've told us the 27th. It may be midnight. Maybe midnight the 28th. So, I mean, we'll see. You're welcome, Linda. It should work. I mean, this should work, kind of, maybe. Oh, is it done? Nope, it's still swirling. I could have too many processes running at the same time with my computer and with the live and that. But it crashed and burned. I will play with it, but that would be that's your best bet. Let me see here. BES silver. We'll try one last time, and if I crash and burn again, we're calling this one quits. It's it's not doing as I anticipated. So we'll come back over here one more time. All right, let's create a new design one more time. We'll go back into the browser window. And we'll hit that one more time. We're going to convert the first one to outlines. Let's do something that won't tax its brain too much. We'll merge that one. Okay, so that one's been converted to outlines. Now, I'm going to come back in, browser window. Go back in the same folder. Let's see what I've got that's not as complex. Well, let's just do the shell. So this time I'm going to, I must have clicked open instead of merge. I'm going to make the shell on top. And we're going to go with try to get rid of the sunflower. All right, we are going to ungroup this one. And we'll do this a piece at a time. Actually, I'm just going to copy that and paste it. And then we'll edit that shape. We're going to get rid of any underlay stitches here. All right, we'll try that. I'm going to come at it a different way because really the running stitches are not going to kill you. It is the extra stuff. It's the bulk of it that you don't want. All right. Now I'm going to right mouse click and let it take that shape. Okay. So now we are going to grab this and the pink part. Oh, I'll be darned. That's got to be converted to outline as well. Hold on. They both have to be converted to outline. Hold on. Merge. Wrong button. Browser. Now let me see where I put that second part. Well, that's weird. Did we not just change that shape? I swear we did. Aha, that's what I didn't do. I see what's happening. Okay, I'll kind of explain what I'm figuring out here. This shading got copied as well. That's part of the white, which is kind of weird, but that is why this one's been digitized very interestingly. We're going to get rid of those last 3 pieces there. Now, that's shading as well. Oh, no, that wasn't. Okay, we're good. Now we can go edit shape and pull these over one more time. All right. Now I'm going to highlight those and get rid of them. And if this doesn't work, we're going to call it the design. Right mouse click. Okay, so I've got some interesting things going on there, which is probably that right there. We can get rid of that. Now we just have that one little orange section. That's what I want. Okay. All right, so now we are going to grab that orange section and this pink section right here, and we are going to right mouse click, and we are going to say remove overlap stitches, and let's see if this will work. If it doesn't, I cry uncle for the day. Okay. If it doesn't, it's not going to work. But by doing what I was doing right there, instead of trying to remove it automatically, you could go in and move those edit nodes. So I could I could split it point here and here, right here and right here, and get rid of that line. And then I could just change the shape of the other. Yeah, I've killed it. So it does not like those two designs. I'm sorry. It is not going to play nice with me. But where those two were overlapping, since I converted them both to outline, they are now a shape. I could right mouse click, split it point, split line, and then delete everything underneath it and do the same thing, just reshape the basic item. And since the other didn't work, we'll try that in one more place. After this, I am crying uncle, and we are going to stop. I have a pup that needs to be walked today, but I've got some little crashies to send out. All right, convert to outline. We will go with this, and we will merge them together. Okay. Now, I'm going to move this one to the front. Go the way I was originally going to go. Okay. So how would I go about this? Since my remove overlaps automatically is not playing nice with others, this is what I would do. I would ungroup my pink design. Let me zoom out one. So get your select tool, come here, right, select the pink design. Let's select the whole king caboodle, right mouse click, and we will ungroup it. Okay. So now I can select the little black piece, come to my tools tab, and we're going to not select everything. We're going to grab this part right here, the outline, the actual outline, edit the shape, and I can come right mouse click and I can say split line. Actually, let's move that. Where did we go? Wrong one. Where did my black go? Edit shape. I'm going to add a point right here. And I'm going to split my line. And then see if I can find my line. Oops. Fiddle-dee-dee, you little turkey. And it's confusing in all sorts of ways. There's something going on here. It's like there's two outlines. Now there's that one. There's That one. Yeah, there's two outlines. Oh my Lord. Yeah, this is like this one is not a fun shape to work with. There are multiple outlines, it looks like. There's that one. And then there's that one. You got all kinds of outlines going on there because of the way they digitized it. So let's see if we grab that and edit the shape and bring that part down right there. Then you can get rid of these. And you could get rid of it all. Oops. You're being a little snot. Don't need to worry about that. This is the one we're worried about. We can get rid of all these. It would be really nice if I could hide this. But the hide feature is not working. All right, so I'm going to find out what's going on with that because this is getting crazy. It's too much trouble, okay? Works great with built-in designs, and it's too much trouble for that. So, yeah, probably it's I just don't know what's going on with it. I will report this as a little bug. I will do it while I'm not live and see if I can get it. But honestly, it is not going to happen. It's not going to happen this week. I leave tomorrow for a funeral, so it is not going to happen this week. I'll see what's going on and I'll report a bug. That's all I can do at this point. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I know I don't want to do it with that design because yeah, that one's got multiple. The way they digitized that one's not one that I want to deal with that way. I should have just picked something from P Design. That would have been a whole lot easier. Two shapes. But anyhow, all right. So you guys have a great rest of your week. Hopefully I'll see you next Tuesday. We'll see what happens, but I should be able to go live next Tuesday. If you're not a Brother Sews fan, if you want to watch we will be doing beginner sublimation projects next Tuesday. Lynn Lilly and I will be on. So just come join us. I believe it's at noon Eastern time, so 11 Central. Don't ask me any of the other time zones because that's more math than I can do at this point. Mountain time would be 1 hour less than me, so that'd be 10, and then Pacific would be 9. So I guess it's not too much for me. So y'all have a good one, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye-bye.